Alright, now we work on weights. So weights work like this. Right now this character is unbound. So what we're going to do is click on the actual skeleton, click on the mesh, skin, bind skin, smooth bind. That gives me a purple frog. And when I mean bound, I mean when I select a joint now, sometimes it helps select it in my other window or in number 4 instead of 6. If I move this, you'll see he has a severe weighting issue. Okay, because smooth bind in Maya handles bipeds just well, but sometimes when you get geometry that's closer together like this, it has some problems and it throws some vertexes and weights around. So what I'm going to do is reweight this character, and I'm not going to paint skin weights, okay, because you can paint skin weights in Maya, but I'm going to show you a better way. So I'm going to go to Window, General Editors, Component Editor, launch this up, and here you have a breakdown of everything in Maya, including skin weights. Okay, so first off, I better say this. Under Window, Hypergraph, Scene Hierarchy, I can see all my bones. And this navigates just like my other views in Maya, using the Alt button. Alright, for the sake of time, I would say you better rename all these bones. And you rename them by like right-clicking and going to rename and renaming said bones. I'm not going to do a bunch of, opening up a new character with it all renamed and having things changed on you. I hate that about training videos. Okay, but I'm going to say, at least, I'm going to rename this as root. And I'm going to say rename this one neck. Oops. And then hit enter. Going to rename this as up jaw 1. Before I apply this, I'm going to hit highlight and hit Control C. That way I can use the same for this one. Rename, Control V. We'll name this 2. Rename, Control V. Low jaw 2. Low jaw 1 actually. There we go. Actually, this probably should be named head. Well, you get the idea. Why I named these and not these, just for this video, is because these are the actually ones that are going to be suffering from the most weights. Since this mesh was actually made, with good joints in there and everything else, it should bend. And frogs are super flexible anyway, so there's not much of a weighting issue outside this head. Alright, so I'm going to select this neck joint, and I'm going to turn off bone selection, and I'm going to go into vertex mode, keep that selected, and I'm going to highlight using Control and Shift at the same time all my vertexes. Notice all these vertexes are different shades of colors. Well, Maya 8 gives you a different shade for every bone that you have. But you notice some are actually a mid-green, a bright green. Some are brown, light brown, dark brown. That shows your skin weights, how soft they are. For this head, I got neck selected still. I have all these selected. In Component Editor, under Smooth Skin, I'm going to go into neck 1. I know it's around here, or neck is around here somewhere. And I'm not seeing it. I'm going to go very slowly. Huh. I'm going to click on Blend Shape Deformers, then back on Smooth Weights. And I'm going to find they're all there because, yeah, I renamed them and had this window open at the same time. Of course. Jeez. Okay, so neck. I'm going to highlight this entire row here, and I'm going to type in 1. Voila. It is now all one color on my vertexes. See? Because they're absolutely positioned to this neck joint. And if I go into my perspective window and go back to bone mode, hit 4, highlight that, go to 6, and move this. It's got some pretty good bones going on. Alright? Because of good topology and everything else on the frog, not much of a weighting issue. Okay. But we do want to shut the mouth of the character. And maybe see if I can turn his neck. Yeah, that looks good too. Alright, so if I messed around with my character at all, I can go to Skin, go to Bind Pose, and it'll move it to the absolute center again. So sometimes you'll see me do that. Okay, so the jaw. Same things apply. Go back into 4. This is going to be my jawbone. And right now nothing's attached to it. Hit Control Z so you get back there. I'm going to grab some vertexes. And I'm going to grab the bone first. Turn off bone mode. Go into vertex. Highlight this vertex. This vertex, this vertex, go into perspective view, highlight those vertexes, vertex, highlight some of these vertexes, this vertex, just like that. And I'm going to make sure my component editor window here. And that should be like lower jaw 2. And I'm going to say 1 for that one too. And I'm going to test that out to see if it's flexible enough. Notice I selected those on that side, but yeah, it should be flexible enough to handle a bend. Turn back on bone mode. Go back into 4 just to get an idea where that bone's at. And move this joint. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to shut this mouth, and I missed these 2 vertexes. Okay, I have my bone selected, and I have this. So I'm going to go into vertex. I'll see those 2. And it updates. Also, I noticed the corner of my mouth right here and this corner of my mouth aren't shut all the way. Normally I wouldn't be picky, but I want to show you another trick. So let's say, since my head is an absolute rock, and that's neck, and this is my lower jaw, which has these two guys on it. Alright, now I can divide my time between the two. So I have my bone still highlighted, remember that. I should, and if not, I'm going to highlight it under bone mode. Go back to 4, 6, yeah, 6, unhighlight that, go to vertex, click, click, here's my neck. I'm going to say 0.50 for the neck, 0.5. So I got 0.5 between the jaw, 0.5 between the neck, and if I slide this, all these are active, you'll see that the combination of all that actually moves these a real fine tune. Okay, so I fine-tuned those. I don't think those are the ones that needed it, but I'm going to fine-tune one more set in here, like this one and this one. It's quite a balancing act, but it's very exact. It's worth the effort to actually go in here and weight the character out the correct way. Okay, that's neck, lower jaw 2. I'm going to say 0.5 here. While they're selected, I'm going to fine tweak them. And that's about as close as I'm going to get without putting another bone in the character. So, I don't want that. Cool. He looks like a little bit of a distressed frog. I find that, you know, if I went in here and actually moved the jaw up just a tad bit, it would do the same trick. Then rotate a little bit more. Geico. Okay, so let's see what the rest of this goes. Yeah, good frog legs. Good frog legs. Good. With these toes. Good and flexible. If you highlight things like this, say if I went to this bone, this bone, this bone, hold down shift, this bone, hit 6 on the keyboard and then rotated, you'll find that they all rotate together. And you can quickly wrap your fingers around trees. Okay, so I made a complete mess of this character. I'm going to go to skin, go to bind pose. And I'm going to save this out. Step 9.